Greg said he's trying to pass that little main event spot up to me. Let's get it.
I just don't think he wants to do 5 rounds, you know.
Right. I mean, I'm not finna do 5 rounds either, but it'd be nice to be a main event, though.
Well, you called for your shot, and, okay, you didn't get your main event, but you got on the card, right? Co-main event.
Yeah.
You're home. How exciting is it to ask and receive and get what you wanted?
I mean, that's just how the universe works, you know. When you speak things out and when you're unafraid and when you're confident and when you actually work towards things, the universe will reward you. And Dana, obviously, you know, hearing that I want to fight in my hometown city and obviously having somebody like me being on the card, he only knew that the numbers was going to go up. So I'm glad that he took that opportunity by putting me on the card, and now we're here. Yeah, let's go.
You called for your shot and you said the universe will reward you. Was any part of you a little nervous getting on that mic, trying to shout at Dana during that press conference?
No, man. I fight for a living. I'm not going to be scared to ask for opportunity, right? Because at the end of the day, this is what I do, and this is what I was born and bred for. So was I nervous getting on the mic? No, not at all. Not at all. Yes.
So you ended up with Nursulton, this big guy, right? He's coming down. When you got that name, were you happy with that? Was it just like, hey, this is about me and being on my card, nothing to do with an opponent?
It had nothing to do with the opponent. Obviously, they had to find somebody that wasn't even a welterweight fighter, right, to get on there. So for me, it was just the opportunity of actually being able to fight. So with Nursulton, I don't know if he's going to make the weight, but it don't even matter. I've already adjusted my mindset that no matter what he steps on the scale as long as we got a dancing partner, as long as I got an opponent, we good. I'm finna knock this boy out come May 11th.
I've seen you in front of crowds before, and you put on a show, right? And you come out there wanting to put on a show. But I feel like for this one, it's almost like the volume's been turned up. And getting anticipation.
we on the max right now. You know, right now the speaker's farting. You hear me? So right now having the energy of my hometown, having my family out, you know, watching me. And it's been years since they watched me live, since the last time I fought in St. Louis for Bellator back in the day. And I feel like now that I get the opportunity to fight in my city, it's like I got to turn up. I got to do the most that, you know, what people expect, right? They want that viral moment, and I feel like we're going to get that.
How many ticket requests have you got?
A lot. I tell them, UFC.com, go get it.
Do you said about like you want that viral moment, so do you in your mind have to prepare like, okay, I'm going to knock him out in this way, or do you just go in there and you think, I'm being aggressive and it will come to me naturally?
It will come to me naturally, but I do have a setup. I do have something in mind that I want to do and I want to hit on him. But, you know, it's all depending on Nursulton and how he comes. But regardless, though, I know that knockout, I know that finish is going to be there at the end of the day.
You've been really aggressive with promoting yourself recently. I've seen the flyers on the cars and things like that. How have you seen the reaction to that and the reception to that promotion you're doing?
I think I get good reception from everybody, especially from the Uzbekistan fans. They've been on my page flooded, right, with thousands of comments. I'm talking about thousands of comments. I get more comments than I get likes. It's kind of crazy. But regardless, I think regardless of how the Uzbekistans feel, I believe that they are a fan of me, and they are glad that I gave their boy an opportunity to fight me. And I believe that, you know, the UFC fans, they appreciate me, right, for being able to put on a show, not just out there in the cage, but outside, you know, meeting up with the fighter in the hotel and keeping the storyline going, right? So I think everybody is excited about me being on this card, you know, and me promoting the fight like I should.
Last one for me, you know, you called for this, you got it. What exactly will it feel like, and what will that moment be like? Viral knockout, you're standing in the cage, your home fans cheering for you. What will that moment mean to you?
Everything that I've envisioned and dreamt about before I even got into the UFC is now finally coming true. And what I really believe is that this is going to be the fight to turn, you know, my career around. Everybody talks about that kick. You know, it's one thing to be known for it, as in my face, but I believe that people will see me as a future world champion after this fight. Yeah.
Mr. Buckley, over here.
Oh, yeah, my bad, bro. There you go.
What do you think it says about your division that they had to actually go and get a guy from another division to come and fight you and nobody else would step up?
It says a lot, right? That they couldn't find, let's say, out of 74 fighters in the welterweight division, that they couldn't find one to take that call. So for them to have to go up to middleweight and find somebody, you know, I think that says more on the big threat that I am. And I feel like the welterweight division, they really know that I'm a dangerous guy. So they really had to find somebody to have somewhat of a chance to beat me. But even then, with this guy, I don't see him being that one. right? Even coming down from 185 to 170, you got to deplete yourself even, worse. With me, I was walking around at 185, 190, but this guy is not the same. So he has to deplete his whole body to try to come down to 170, and it's only going to backfire on him. Yeah.
When he was in here earlier, I'd asked him about the interaction you guys had outside of the front of the hotel when you were kind of telling him to point at the arch. And he said he thinks that you talk too much and he thinks that you're insecure. I just want your thoughts on that.
No, I do talk a lot. Even my own granny tells me I talk too much, But regardless, though, this is what I do. I like to interact with the fighters that I'm finna get in the cage with, because we gonna really see what you about, when we step in there. So, yeah.
And how are you able to magically assemble the 6 foot and above Avengers?
Man, hey, man, I stay connected, you know what I mean? So, I build relationships no matter where I go, wherever I train. And, I got my guy Reggie Thompson over there from STL Boxing. They got the guys from St. Louis to come through, anybody that was over 6 foot, but not just over 6 foot, right? The reach, that's what's more important. So I'm working with guys that have an 84-inch reach, And, with Nursulton, he only has a 76-inch reach. We have the same reach. To be exact. And for me, I'm able to maneuver around guys that have an 84-inch reach, and I'm able to, duck and dodge their punches. But I feel like with Nursulton, I'm going to be able to touch him, and he's not going to be able to place where he can touch me because of my movement and my footwork. So, we put in the right team. I also got my guy Heisem in for the grappling, because not only is Nursulton known for knocking guys out, but he's known for finishing guys on the ground. So I grabbed one of the best guys in Heisem, Rita, to come in for my camp, and he's known for the armbar heard around the world. So training with him, I feel like I'm more than prepared to fight this guy and send his ass back home broke.
And then after the last fight with Luque, you were kind of vocal about, if you haven't been with me from the jump, don't come.
Don't start. Yeah. I think it's really going to be honest with you. I don't need to have interviews no more, because I got my own podcast. I got my own team of guys that we building up our own media. So when this fight happens and I do what I know I can do, the numbers is just going to go up. So I don't need people to come to me, because people going to reach out to me in order to hear my story on my Solid Foundation podcast, Brick Brothers.
Did you think the interview with Ariel was going to go the way it went when you went on there?
What you mean?
It felt like he felt a certain way with your answer.
No. I mean, it went the way it went, but it doesn't even matter. Like I said, at the end of the day, we going to tell our story, how we tell it, and we ain't got to worry about ducking and dodging, no questions. You understand?
And how good is it to share a card with Charles Johnson?
It feels good, man. That's a brother of mine. Yeah, I need to put him on the main card, though. Let's go.
Buckley right here.
Yeah, what's good, Bree?
What's going on?
Another St. Louis.
I remember sitting, you were sitting next to me at UFC 300 when I was in line to get on the mic, before I know it, I look behind and you're right there.
Yeah, you didn't know I was plotting. I be staying ready. You hear me?
Did you plan on doing that ahead of time, or did you just kind of feel the energy when you got there?
I felt the energy, right? I was like, why not? Yeah. I'm here right now. I came out here to promote the fight, and not the best way, but besides getting on that mic and speaking to Dana himself. So with that being said, it's just like some things, you can't force, right? But I feel like it was already organic and already kind of natural with me being there and me being put in that position where I can actually go up to the mic, me being on the right side at the right time, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
And it's just like, at the end of the day, I feel like, it was meant to be, so exactly what happened was meant to happen.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. And what does it mean to you? Obviously, you're from St. Louis. This is your hometown, and being able to perform on the highest level. I mean, you've done Shamrock shows, you've done Bellator, like you said, but now doing it on the highest level. What does that mean to you?
Like I said, this is what we worked for since I've been a young kid. This has been a over 10-year journey. And like I said, a lot of people don't realize, when I was training on my own. So I did come from a gym, finished MMA, but I felt like for myself, I had to grow a little bit more. I felt like I need to learn a little bit more. So I pretty much tell people, like, you got to have the mindset to learn things on your own and not depend on other people to give you the information. And that's what I did. So I was the type of person that I would call up my guys, you know, Ruziboev, shout out to him. And I would call Edric Dillard, Ryan Sutton, R.I.P., a brother of mine, and Travis Brown. And these guys that I would call up, you know, we would figure out, you know, how can we change the game, right? How can we do things different from everybody else? Because everybody that we were seeing doing it, we just felt like they weren't doing it right. And with that being said, I'm glad to be back home with the same people, with my same squad, and putting on for St. Louis.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw you, like OG had said, you posted a picture. You trained with a bunch of 6'4", 6'3" guys. I saw you training with Tavon. He's a great up-and-comer at Wolves Den.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
just showing love, man, to the people that's out here, because unfortunately we don't get that light, you know. We don't get that shine light that is necessary, and we got some of the most talented people that come from here. We didn't have 3 world champions that then came out of Missouri, right? One that actually from St. Louis, and Tyrone Woodley. So we have great talent down here, and I feel like with this moment, with the UFC coming back down here to St. Louis, I feel like we got an opportunity to actually shine that light on us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Hey, right here.
Oh, what's good? I didn't even see your ass. Yeah.
So how do you... Training at home, how do you lock in and like limit distractions? How's that been?
Man, don't be asking me questions like you don't know me, bro. Like, come on, man.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Man, we stay locked in because we know exactly what is at cost, right? We know exactly what's on the line. So is that what you asked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, you always you still messing with me.
Keep it professional. All
right. But regardless, though, we stay locked in by just understanding that at any given time, you know, if our mindset is thrown off, that everything that we work for can be taken away. So the way I've been staying, you know, focused is by, you know, having my loved ones, you know, staying away from the house, being able to still train 3 times throughout the day like I was when I was in Michigan. So I haven't done anything differently from my camp where I'm usually training. I kept the same routine here in St. Louis. So unfortunately, I still haven't been around my family. But right now we locked in, and I can't wait to be around them after I knock out dude. Yeah.
So Nursulton actually said, like, of you as
That's
a
his
fighter.
Name? That's how you say his name?
Nursulton.
Okay, you're right.
He said he actually thought you were a good fighter. What do you think about him as a fighter?
Let's say he's a confident fighter, right? That's what I would say. He's a confident fighter.
Okay, and then if you're being honest with yourself, when you did a dance battle with Merab, who do you think won that? I
definitely lost that one. You know, I was not prepared. When he hit me with his dance moves, his traditional moves, I mean, they've been doing for a long time. Yeah, I don't think the jerk won it. Good shit, bro.
So you haven't made an official statement on this yet, but Drake or Kendrick, I don't know. Who you got?
Well, we seen what happened at Drake crib, you know. So I'm gonna go with K Dot. Yeah. I'm gonna go with K Dot. Yeah. That's it. Appreciate y'all.